Hi friends, welcome back to Farm Girl Diaries. It is an early morning and I really need to water this garden. I haven't watered in a couple days and I do have fall seeds in here, and I was like, you know what, my fall seeds are probably not growing, so we need to water. So I thought I'd bring you guys out. We haven't been together in the garden in a while. I do need to do a garden tour, but I thought I'd just show you, like, while I water, the craziness of this garden. The volunteer sunflowers are really making a name for themselves. Look at that. How pretty they are. And they are huge. Huge. So I had sunflowers in this bed here, and I see a couple, but they got plucked by the birds, so I don't have that many. So I think we're going to take what we can get. The reason I don't come out here very much right now is because I hate it out here. I'm getting bitten up like crazy, and then the plants are all itchy. I'm allergic to all of these plants. I come out here, I touch anything, and I am so itchy. So right now, I am fighting the urge to just throw this down and start scratching myself. I am so itchy, and I barely touched anything. Um, so the garden, unless I can have on like jeans and long sleeves, the garden is kind of like off limits to me right now, which is annoying because I would really like to be out here. Um, but I kind of make peace with it. So we're out here and we harvest and we get what the garden wants to give us, and then we go back inside. Okay, I'm breaking my own rules. You're never supposed to harvest tomatoes in the morning, especially after watering. I didn't really water the tomatoes. I tried to water everything else, but it's supposed to be like 90 some degrees today, and I don't want to come out here when it's some 90 some degrees. So we're gonna harvest now. Our banana peppers are loaded with banana peppers. We just did a big harvest of them last week, but they are loaded down. So we can probably do another harvest soon. My orange yummies are okay, good. My orange yummies, I guess they're called snack box peppers, are these little orange ones. They're my favorite. They have barely started coming in yet, but I'm seeing all the plants have peppers on them. So we should hopefully have a ton of them soon. I have grape tomatoes. I'm not going to harvest a ton of these. Well, I guess maybe I will. I see a ton on here. This plant is just doing so well. I've been using this largely for tomato caprese salads, but I've also used this to make salsa, and it has been really good. So these little grape cherries are 100% the way to go if you don't have a lot of space, but you want a lot of tomatoes. I'm just going to harvest enough probably for a caprese salad, maybe tonight with dinner. Haven't had one of them in a couple of days. I'm just going to harvest a couple of them. I have so many more left on there, but I don't need them all right now. Coming over here to this wildness, I have a little pumpkin, a whole bunch of little pumpkins. But I have my kombucha, or not kombucha, this is a kohlrabi. The last kohlrabi that I have, I'm trying to let it get a little bigger. This is the potato patch, and we have a couple of potatoes growing. These two are potatoes. I don't really see anything else. So I came down here and I checked. So I wanted to see if my potatoes were growing. And kind of not. That's a thistle. So it looks like a lot of my potatoes maybe have rotted. Not rotted, but like there's nothing left. So we got a couple growing. So we'll see if we get any more. But this is definitely the year. I can step here because there's nothing there. Of the butternut squash. There's a butternut squash there. Butternut squash back there. A whole bunch in this space here. Some hanging up on the trellis over there. And then over in that corner on the outside of the fence, there's a whole bunch of butternut squash. We have a ton of butternut squash. My very first, we have a ton of the orange pumpkins. You can see there's an orange pumpkin back there. Peek the orange pumpkins. We have a ton. That one looks like, that one's good. We finally have our first little mini white pumpkin. So it looks like there's a whole bunch right in there. That's exciting. So I accidentally picked that pumpkin yesterday. I didn't mean to pick him, but he's huge. And our cantaloupe is back there. In this mess over here, we have sweet potatoes that are finally getting eaten. They got eaten last year, I think, by rabbits getting in here. But these are my sweet potato vines. So we'll see if we get anything from them. I'm really hoping I do because I love having a sweet potato harvest. But look at all these volunteer tomatoes. The tomatoes just keep volunteering. I can't even begin to keep up with it. My corn has officially fallen over. That was the help of a squirrel. I kept climbing and laying them over. Same with this sunflower here. As hot as it is and as itchy as this garden makes me, I don't really care about cleaning up that corn or making that area presentable again. I will say that I kind of want the corn to continue to die there. That way I can use it. Oh my God, getting out of this garden is a feat. I want that corn to die there though, so that I can use it for fall decoration. My beets in here, I'm just checking the beets to see if they're bulbing up, and we definitely have some that are bulbing. So that's exciting. Yep. I definitely have some that are bulbing. Not all of them, but more than what we had before. And then my Brussels sprout is not doing well. I topped them. This one was the nicest looking one. It's now the ugliest one. And the other ones look okay. So this might be my last year attempting to grow Brussels sprouts because I can never ever get them to grow me nice Brussels sprouts. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to show you is the year of the squash. I planted, obviously I planted a pumpkin over here in the flower farm. Planted a pumpkin. It has taken over the flower farm. But here, right on the outskirts, pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin under there. I don't even know what's back in here. No idea if there's anything back there or not, but that pumpkin has taken over. And then if we come over here, the back end of the garden. So in here, we have a whole bunch of the butternut squash. There's a little one. There's one. I don't even know what else is in there. there is a nice one. So definitely the year of the butternut squash. I'm loving that I had these little mini white ones. I'm so excited for them. And then there is a pumpkin in here. I stumbled across a pumpkin the other day somewhere in here. So there'll be another pumpkin, big pumpkin in here, along with that guy over there. But like, look at this. Absolutely crazy. So when the plants have a mind of their own and they don't care about being contained, you can't really mow. So my dad's been mowing around it as the plants just kind of take over the back end of the garden. But so it's middle of August. So probably in about a month, maybe like a month and a half, I will either have that garden completely reclaimed or be starting to reclaim that garden. So the garden is coming in little bits and pieces. I harvested this tomato. It's my second yellow one. They're just starting to come in, the yellow ones. But I don't want this part into it or part of it. So what I like to do is if it's only one half of it, just cut that half off. No big deal. So cut the half off and throw this to the compost. So the produce is just starting to come in, like I said, in kind of gangbusters. I'm harvesting every day. I went out to the garden briefly yesterday and I found these two orange ones. So I guess it's not my second orange one. I had these two. Two Romas. And today I picked a couple more Romas. So the thing with the garden is it doesn't all come in at once. So especially if you want to make tomato products, if you don't get a big batch, just throw them in the freezer. So I have 4 Romas here. Romas are great for salsas, great for ketchups and stuff like that. But I need a lot of them. So I'm just going to throw these in the freezer. And whenever I'm ready, whenever I have enough and I'm ready to process, I can just get them out of the freezer. It makes life super easy. We were supposed to cut flowers while we were out there too. But the itchiness of the garden made me not want to do it at all. So maybe we'll do it later. Maybe we won't. I am ready. I'm not ready for fall yet. But I am ready for the cooler temperatures so I can go back to enjoying my garden. Because right now I have no enjoyment in my garden at all. And then I also picked, real quick, a bowl of green beans. And with my green beans, I just wash them, top them, and throw them in a freezer bag in the freezer. And typically how many I harvest is one, like what I typically think of as like one side. So I harvested these in one sit-in. So these are all going to go into one bag as one side dish. So I think that just makes it easier when I'm pulling them out of the freezer. I don't have to kind of figure out how many I want. I just kind of pull out a bag and go from there. And I got one little pepper. Our peppers are, these snack box peppers are just starting to come in. And I need to refill my freezer bag of these. So we have not eaten a single one of these fresh. They've all been going in the freezer. So I'm hoping they start coming in fast enough that I can start eating them fresh because I really like to eat some with like some ranch. I think that'd be really yummy. So I said I needed to do an August garden tour. I think that's about the extent of what you're going to see for my garden for right now. It is hot. It is, there's not a ton of weeds. There's a lot of grass growing in between the squash plants. And of course, you can't really pull that when it's in the squash plants. When all that comes out, the nice thing about those weeds is they're not established because they're first year weeds. So they'll come out super, super easily. So reclaiming that garden is not going to be a ton of work. It might take me a couple of afternoons, but that's not too bad. An hour here, an hour there. But so right now we still have zucchini coming in. We have a ton of pumpkins. So when we go to harvest our butternut squash and our pumpkins, I think our fall decorating is going to be amazing because we have so many. We have green beans coming in still. My green beans are not giving me the beans that I thought I should have. So I decided next year, in addition to my green bean arch, which I love, I want to do bush bean plants. Because bush beans give you a lot. So if I do a whole bunch of bush beans and then the arch, I should definitely have enough beans for what I need to put back. What else should we get out of there? We still have sweet potatoes in there. We'll see what they get. We have a couple potatoes. It'll be nice to get something in the fall. So we'll see what our potatoes give us for the fall. Not too many. It looks like I might have only 2 that came back. So we'll see what happens there. And there's anything else in the garden. We have the artichoke. That's not producing any artichokes yet. So that might be a next year harvest. I think artichokes might be 2-year plants. I'm not sure. So we'll see. And then I think that's it. Tomatoes, zucchini, squash. I think that's it. So still have a ton of food out there, but it's kind of narrowed itself down a little bit. I do have fall seeds in the ground. I put a ton of fall seeds in: carrots, beets, radishes, sunflowers. I have some Napa cabbage and a broccoli plant that have survived this long. I started them inside. They've survived this long, so they do need to get planted. So I might go through them in the ground later tonight. But yeah, that's kind of it. So I'm eating a ton of zucchini. I'm going to come home today and I'm making a blackberry zucchini lemon muffin for the freezer to use up some of my zucchini. My friend Allison made these muffins and they sound delicious. So hers were blueberry lemonade, blueberry lemon zucchini, and I don't have any fresh blueberries. I have blackberries. So I'm going to turn it into blackberry lemon zucchini. So I think that's going to be really good. So we're going to make that later today. Just going to throw these tomatoes in the freezer, throw the green beans in the freezer. I'm going to call it a day. So even though we're not in the garden, even though I'm an itchy mess, I'm also very sweaty. It's barely 8:30 and it is already hot. Today's going to be a hot day. I'm still loving what the garden is producing, and I am anxiously waiting for cooler weather. I would love to get out there and start getting some stuff tore out, make myself some more space so I can go in there without just getting so itchy. So we'll see what happens. I'm kind of hoping for a cool fall, an early cool fall. It's middle of August. So I'm hoping like September 1st. Bring the cooler weather, please. I am ready for it. I have Sybil running around the house. Sybil is my new bunny. I have her running around the house right now, and I think she terrorizes my other animals. Sawyer is in here with me, and the cat Willow is just sitting here. They're both with me, while Sybil is just running around the house. So I think she rules this house right now. So I'm going to go corral her. But yeah, I just want to bring you guys along. You guys haven't seen the garden in a while. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do a garden tour. And you know what? Let's not. It's miserable. But at least we're still, our hard work in February, March, April, and May is paying off. We are harvesting a ton of produce. And we're harvesting this like every single day. So like I only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tomatoes today, and a little bowl. I could have harvested way more cherry tomatoes. So it's not a huge harvest, but I'm doing that every single day. So that's nice. Okay, I'm done rambling. I'm gonna go corral the bunny. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, friends.